Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another reaction. Today I'm going to be watching Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know very much about Godzilla nor Kong. I guess I have to admit this is going to be another blind watch. I don't know anything about this movie. I have seen other Godzilla and Kong movies, but I'm not a huge fan. Like, for example, all week I kept calling it Kong vs. Godzilla, so I don't know if that's a subconscious thing that I know Kong more than Godzilla. I don't think it is, because I remember as a kid I had a Godzilla, like those dinosaur plasticky figures. I had one of those as a kid. So Godzilla was more in my life, I guess, than Kong. So in terms of this movie, Variety, and I love my Variety, said that you need to see this Titan throwdown on the biggest screen possible. And well, actually, Variety, I love you, but you ain't my mama, so They also said, though, that there's not much brain in this movie, but there is a lot of brawn. But that's kind of what I expect from this kind of movie. With King Kong, maybe I've seen the old black and white one when I was really little, but I don't really remember that. I know there's a Jessica Lange one. I haven't seen that either. I haven't seen Skull Island, which was the most recent one, which I guess is the prelude to this movie. So I'm going in without one of the previous films in my belt. So, oh well. Woo-hoo. Although I did see the 2005 remake with King Kong, and I really enjoyed that. I do remember crying really, really hardly, like ugly cry, like this kind of cry. I cried because I liked the whole relationship that they showed with Naomi Watts and King Kong. And there was that cute little ice skating scene. I remember something about ice skating in Central Park. And then they shot at him. I didn't like that. But then he died. But I think that was always the story. King Kong always dies.
I know, it was a sad movie. I cried too. Every time I see it, I hope maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this time he won't die, but he always does.
And then you had Peter Jackson directing that, and he's iconic, but I haven't actually seen Lord of the Rings either, so maybe that's something I will react to as well. Although I did go to see the first Lord of the Rings movie, but I was kind of kissing the entire time of that like 17-hour-long movie, but it was with a girlfriend that I had in high school, and I know, girlfriend, I see you. Then you got Godzilla, and I've seen both of the most recent films of his. I haven't seen the first one in a long while, but it does have Aaron Taylor Johnson in it, who, yeah. Okay, that's enough of that. There's also Sally Hawkins, who's a spectacular British actress. If you ever get a chance to see Happy Go Lucky, watch that. That's one of the most fun experiences I've had, watching a little indie comedy in a little British film. She's just fantastic. But I also have to say I was surprised that Elizabeth Olsen, our Scarlet Witch, was actually in that movie as well. I completely forgot that she played the wife to Aaron Taylor Johnson. The twins got busy. I don't know when in relation to the Marvel stuff those two were made, but it was a bit strange when I was reading about that and thinking, well, that's kind of like this. But I have a bone to pick with that first movie, and it's how they treated Juliette Binoche, who's a fantastic actress. She's only in it for like the first scene, and then they just gas her and kill her. I wasn't having that. And then there's the King of Monsters sequel, and you've got 11, and you've got the fantastic Vera Farmiga, and she's practically perfect in almost everything. Especially, I loved her in Bates Motel for a character that we hardly ever really got to see. of Norman Bates' mother in the Psycho franchise. She got to really show who that character could really be. She was fantastic in that show. But I got another bone to pick. The way that they treated my Sally Hawkins in that one. Boom. Another dead. 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 Just bringing her on. Boom. Dead. But in spite of all that bone collecting, it's not as bad as this.
Mom! Pull her up! Pull her up! No! No, Mom!
The way that they just did that to poor Vivica A. Fox. I watched that Independence Day sequel. First, it just awful movie. But the way that they treated that character, who was strong survival instincts in the first one, helped the president's wife, the first lady, and then, oh, bye. Bye. And then in this one, 11 returns, and I'm assuming she helps Godzilla because she was all smiley and helping him in the last one. Other than that, I don't know if there's any other returning characters. You do have Alexander Skarsgård, but then it's like a pick and mix on what you're going to get out of that one. Mixed bag. Are you going to get the True Blood version? Or are you going to get the Big Little Lies version of Alexander Skarsgård? But then there's, of course, the whole bringing Godzilla and King Kong together. You've had this Battle of Titans before in movies. Or just silly versus movies. I mean, you had Freddy vs. Jason, which was really in my kind of teen years, and I really, really loved that movie. I like those films, but also that movie in particular was very, very well done. I know it took forever for them to make that because of it being in development for 500 years. And then you've got Batman vs. Superman, which I'm just going to reuse what I said in Justice League about that, which is, instead of bitch please, I'm just going to say Martha please. There was Alien vs. Predator, which I think was a thing made from comics at first, and then toy companies. So on paper it worked, but then those movies, no. Although in the first one you had Sanaa Lathan, who I just adore. But that was only a recent adoration because this past holiday season I was watching The Best Man and The Best Man Holiday. Those are two fantastic movies. I love those movies. So if you want to check out a really great friend group and the drama between friend groups movie, watch those two movies. They're very, very good. And The Best Man Holiday is a really good choice for Christmas time. So digression aside, King Kong, Godzilla, let's get ready to rumble. Somewhere in Skull Island. So I hope they're recapping what I didn't watch in Skull Island. This is funny shit. Oh my god, no. Why? Kongs are just people too. He's being watched. Controlled. That ain't cute.
You don't think the king could take care of himself?
Take care of himself? Well, Alpha versus Alpha. So this is just the story of two tops fighting each other. That, oh my god, so extra. Oh, there he is. Hey, big boy. God, they do more damage engaging than they do just letting him be. Seems it's about nuclear crap. He don't want no nuclear crap.
Something provoking him that we're not seeing here. Why else
Yeah, provoking.
Flash an intimidation display if there wasn't another Titan around?
The last thing that I is to be worrying about you.
Godzilla saved us. You were there.
You're trying to silence her, but like, didn't she? Wasn't she like integral into stopping him last time?
Reason why he was provoked.
There isn't.
How do you know that?
Because
Fool.
You always
always believed that Skull Island was like hollow Earth come to the surface, right? And that's where Kong's ancestors came from.
This is already a little overly complicated.
Find a new home.
Jeez. Poor thing.
Feel free to be impressed.
Ew. Attitude. Tch. Silly ass little girl. Why?
Is she supposed to be out there?
Is she supposed to be? Are you kidding, you stupid bitch? It's flipping raining and it's nighttime. Ugh. You were just reading their ass because you had the best equipment, but you can't have the best common sense to just say, get your goddamn child off that boat. So they made Godzilla the bad guy in like 5 seconds, and now they're making Kong the good guy. Oh, he's speaking sign language. Ooh.
Then dump him, dump the monkey. How about we throw you off instead, huh? We have to release him.
Uh-oh. Here we go. I'm glad it's happening because that other stuff is boring. Well, I give it to them, and then they did really good at making Godzilla the bad guy real quick. Pick your side. Because I haven't even seen the new King Kong, but I sympathize with the poor guy. Ooh. He looked a little bit Bruce Willis Die Hard. Oh, those are kind of cool. Oh. Poor thing.
This won't end until one of them submits.
Top versus top.
Shut it down.
Godzilla look at him like, bitch, I will have that ass. No, the bitch is gonna be cold. Got his titties out and everything. Look at him, he's like, this shit. What's this shit? What? Okay. Are we now in Thor territory? The camera work in this, I'm glad I'm not seeing this in IMAX because I'd get dizzy. This movie's a little extra. I don't get the spaceships, how that came out of nowhere. Weird reality holes. Okay. That'll do it.
Prepare to attack!
This is getting into like high budget Sharknado level. Kong's on the move, you gotta go. You're already going. Jesus. What is this movie? Well, this is interesting. Oh, is this what we're doing now? Ugh. Oh. Robot Godzilla or something?
Yes, Robo Godzilla.
Let's make a Godzilla.
Oh, he's cutting him in half. I think I heard of Robot Godzilla, but I didn't think that was gonna happen in this. That is a bit. There's some silliness. Oh, he has a throne. Oh, it's one of the fans. Ooh, interesting. Is he trying Is he trying to get to the center of the earth? Is that where they are now? I'm just a little confused. Maybe I should have seen Skull Island or whatever first. Get this bitch! Aw, damn. I hope this bitch gets a good ass death. And better be satisfied. I mean, if they could kill Juliette Binoche, and if they could kill Sally Hawkins like they did, this bitch better get a good ass death. Get her. With the flip phone, you're going viral? Ooh. Is Kong all the Kongs?
I'm all the Jedi.
What happened there? Hey bitch! Over here! Ooh, his arm. Eek. Come on, bitch. You're bottoming. Top freezes top. Bottom.
The apex titan of my own hand.
Apex. Oh. Cheetah, cheetah, cheetah.
An apex predator. Like nothing there's ever been before.
Molly, you in danger, girl. So it's really like the manifestation of that three-headed thing from the last movie? Okay. Damn. That's... He just Madison lead it. They've come together. Like that stupid Batman versus Superman movie. Okay. Slow clap. That was something. Wrapping it up. But where's King Kong and Godzilla just walking around in the city? Exactly. We both can be tops. I wish I knew how to quit you. More human boring wrap up? Oh, thank God. Well, there was that. Godzilla vs. Kong. Good, bad, meh. I'm gonna give it a meh. I didn't enjoy it as much as Godzilla, the God of Monsters one, the one previous to this. It was just so contrived. But then again, it is the third film and, you know.
Well, at least we can all agree the third one's always the worst.
It was far too confusing. I didn't really understand what was happening with gravity and wormholes and spaceships, kind of, in a way. I mean, the last one was seemingly kind of cemented in some form of reality. You have these crazy monsters and titans, but you had reality surrounding them with the humans and the world around them, except extreme science. The spaceship stuff, I didn't get that. But then again, I don't know if that's a Skull Island thing or not. But I don't remember anything like that in the God of Monsters or whatever that last one was called. From a story standpoint, oof, woof. It was Batman versus Superman, but with Godzilla and King Kong. They wanted to kick each other's asses for the whole thing. And then somehow miraculously at the end, I don't know if it's because King Kong submitted or what, but then they just stopped. No more fighting. It being like Batman versus Superman. You had Batman and Superman fighting, and then they become amicable in the end, only to fight something bigger and badder, which was this ridiculous robot Godzilla. And the robot Godzilla, just, I think it existed in previous lore of Godzilla in Japan and all of the history of Godzilla, but it was a bit much for my palate. It was extreme. There was moments where it even felt a bit Sharknado.
Full Delta, prepare to attack!
In terms of character, along with the story, you don't have characters that I knew any of their names. And that's always a bad sign because you don't connect with them.
Who is she? Who is she? Where did you find her?
And granted, I don't think you watch these movies for the human characters, but when there's not a fight or a moment of Godzilla or King Kong, whatever, it has to be somewhat engaging with the humans. But I'm assuming because it's the third one that the characters for the humans were not necessarily priority. I just wish movies like this had better development or just even less characters so that certain other characters can have moments to shine. Like, yes, you had the big bad guy that created the robot Godzilla or whatever, Mecha Godzilla, Mega Godzilla, I don't know what its name is. I'm me. I don't have an encyclopedia knowledge of Godzilla. Not my thing. But I watched it anyways. Even Millie Bobby Brown with her returning from the last movie, it was just tossed aside. Go and try to figure out what's happening. Didn't really do anything. It was just a way of having her character in it. I can't really think what did those three together do? Her friend and the podcast guy. Let me sit for a second and think, what did they actually do? So, all they did was get caught and spill the drink in the computer, and bing bang boom, the robot Godzilla was vulnerable for a second and King Kong could kick its ass. But if they weren't in there, they would have been something better that you could have done. It was a bit, but the little girl was the best, and she didn't even speak a word. She was just signing the entire time. What other characters? Well, you got King Kong and Godzilla, but the characterizations of that, I didn't like how you had the first two Godzilla movies where it's kind of making you sympathetic to Godzilla, and then in this, you kind of are pushed to not be sympathetic to Godzilla and dislike him. It was odd, but then for somebody who hadn't seen the King Kong one, bing bang boom, I'm rooting for King Kong. Which makes me also think of Freddy vs. Jason, where Freddy's so awful to Jason and victimizing and bullying and using him that you root for Jason because Freddy's just an awful, miserable person. I need to attack King Kong. I need to do this. Granted, he sensed all of these other Titan creatures and wanted to fight them to be the alpha, which just on a level of storyline, why did we have to have alpha storylines? Why does there have to be that? Why can't there be something else in terms of a driving force for something instead of I need to be the dominant, the best? It's so 1980s. It's so Ronald Reagan. I'm just not into that. Ugh. But because of all of that, I supported King Kong more, who had emotions, who had connections, to other characters, even though those other characters didn't have characterizations within themselves. But King Kong you kind of rooted for because, well, he's emotive. They fixated on him a lot more. I mean, the film opened with him, so it was kind of in a way that they were forcefully making you side with him. So I guess it worked for me. In terms of timelessness, I think this is something that will probably be talked about because it's quite popular with HBO Max right now. And then I think it will dissipate. I'm sure Godzilla fans will always remember it, but
it's cute for a taste, but not for a swallow.
So I don't think it's going to have a long impression on people or the lexicon of cinema or pop culture. Like some of the Versus movies that I talked about, I don't even think people even talk about Alien versus Predator in a way that kind of keeps it relevant. And with Batman versus Superman, I think people mention that now because it's still within that timeline, but also mention it rather ironically in a tongue-in-cheek kind of laughing at it sort of way. I'm not sure what they'll do next with Godzilla or King Kong. I think 3 is enough, maybe, from my point. I haven't seen the skull thing, like I've said multiple times, but I don't know if I have to. I don't know if I want to. So I leave it at that. So it's kind of been hell here on this one, but I'll catch you later.